Greetings everyone, Agion here. Today I have a very good replay. I just got done spectating this one, and this was like a must record now sort of replay. This was an excellent replay. So on the left side, as the magenta Tuetons, we have mgxiongmao. I don't know. Why do I even try to pronounce? Oh, your name's not even better either. Bisthebis. I have no idea. Sometimes I just have no idea why people names are like this.
Yay.
So we got the sheep being harvested. We have sheep being harvested over here. Not big surprise. We got the wood line now going on up for magenta. Blue already has this wood line. Has villagers on it. A little bit spread out on the sheep, so not exactly great sheep management right now. And we also have a board here. The sheep just got done collecting. In fact, threw a bit of wood into it. So now they're collecting boar. Boar's being collected over here by blue. A little bit of spoilage here with the sheep. And actually, yeah, a bit more spoilage over on blue. There's even deer being collected. Blue has a bit more spoilage. Magenta's already going for farms, and he already has still some sheep. A little bit oversight there, as well. Deer are being collected, or goats, I should say. I think those are actually goats, not deer. Ibex? Ibex? Is it Ibex or Ibex? Ibex? Oh. Yep, we're just in this early eco-league. Looks like both players go for fast castle. This map tends to foster fast castles since both players start out with stone walls. It's really hard to break through with feudal age stuff, so and we actually do have fast castle by blue. Magenta has only a couple villagers right now and not actually queuing up anything. Now we have castle as well. So overall, blue is a little bit more ahead. We also got a single militia here. Perhaps used for scouting, or maybe just trying to guard that relic. I don't know. We also got a relic over here, so these relics could be quite important. Blues are actually being quite aggressively defensive about the relics, if that were to make any sort of sense. I have another town center going up for magenta. Blue does not. Oh, yeah, blue does have another town center already. We're just in early, not so early ecoing, approaching 20 minutes. Priest is out. So blue is eyeing for those relics. If the game prolongs, these relics are going to become quite important just for that bit of extra gold income. It appears just only this one relic remains. Blue claim all the relics? That will be a great boon, because each relic provides 0.5 gold per second, or 2 relics give you 1 gold per second. If he's able to claim all 5, he gets 2.5 gold per second, which is a significant amount. University going on up, not a big surprise. He's Britons, so he's probably really in the eye for ballistics, just so his archers can actually hit a moving target. We still have these handful of man-arms there. One of them they took out on scout. You see some Tuetons. And the Tuetons, that Teuton just like shrug off all the blows, killed off those 3 man-at-arms, no problem. We got a castle going up for blue on the outskirts. We do have a large number of arbalists. Maybe we'll see eventually a transition to longbowmen. But for all the upgrades right now, these arbalists have, or crossbowmen actually. Arbalist is Imperial Age, which is actually both players getting Imperial Age tech now. Magenta is actually a little bit more ahead. And let's just take a quick look at the economy tab. And the village count is quite similar. Blue has a slight advantage, but of course he teched up a bit later. Both players are going to have a castle, and this castle may be interrupted. It's pretty close to completion. One Teuton Knight goes down. Another Teutonic Knight, a third Teutonic Knight. Teutonic Knights are not the appropriate unit against crossbowmen. And this castle does go up, and it's harassing the villagers, so that is quite an important spot. There's a large number of crossbowmen here, large enough for a hit squad to be able to almost take out a Teutonic Knight in one volley.
Yay, mandatum.
You see, a range is actually quite significant. We do see some mangonels. We do have a range of 7. So there's a small window of crossbowmen able to kite mangonels. So it all comes down to pretty much skill. If you transition to longbowmen, of course he doesn't have exactly the production for that. Longbowmen have that additional range, which makes them a bit more effective versus the mangonels.
Hey, sir.
Grayton?
Another siege workshop goes on up for magenta. Really should eye getting, yes, he is getting an onager upgrade and then potentially a siege onager upgrade. Can Teutonics get siege onager? I always forget of who can get siege onagers, who gets siege rams, and who gets well, there's no siege scorpion. There's actually a large number of crossbowmen here. There's maybe enough crossbowmen to one-hit an onager. They have 7 armor, 60 health. Crossbowmen have only 7 damage, so probably be about 2 shots. Because they're at least guaranteed to do 1 damage. Have the range advantage. They have 9 range versus the 8 of their opponent. But got a huge volley here. Oh, does get quite a bit of crossbowmen, but one of the mangonels do go down. Probably equal in cost. Remember, mangonels are pretty expensive, like what? 200? In wood? That's trebuchets. I think they're 125, 125. I forget the exact amount. We usually also had a number of cavaliers coming in out. Probably an eye to rush down those crossbowmen, but there's a lot of them here, and these trebuchets will be very problematic. Castles are probably not going to produce any more Teutonic Knights. Teutonic Knights are just going to get ripped apart. We got a handful of halberdiers here. Their barracks are destroyed. He's trying to go forward, but ooh, was unsuccessful. The trebuchet almost went down to the friendly fire damage of the mangonels. We do have a trebuchet here by blue engaging the castle. Something to note, these arbalists have 11 range right now, and they can outrange a castle. Granted, it'll take a long time to actually kill off, but still, something, if he's put some pressure on this opponent, he can just shoot it with crossbows or arbalists. More trebuchets are being built. We do have a handful of scouts here, and these siege workshop was killed off. He does unleash the rams from it, and there's a lot of rams here. These are capped rams, so they can probably quickly take out the castle, though the castle's already pretty close to going down. We heard a monk of some sort. We've got magenta knights here. Perhaps he was trying to convert one. There's actually a pair of monks here. The castle does go down, but the town is also down. There's a large number of mangonels here, or onagers now. These rams are trying to go forward, trying to destroy the production, but these guys are going good to rip them apart quite easily, but he's trying to save the mangonels. Which mangonels are more expensive than the siege workshops in the stable, so it's probably a better decision to sacrifice the stable over sacrificing a mangonel. Ooh, splashing his own scouts is not a good idea. I'm always so cautious with mangonels. Because I tend to, it feels like I'm always killing more of my guys than killing theirs. 8 hits by the onagers. The onagers took out both trebuchets. This halberdier is being very problematic, and there's enough crossbow here to pose a serious threat to the onagers. And I think the onagers are now siege onagers, if I saw that correctly. Scouts go forward. Regular scouts are not going to last very long versus crossbow armless, I should say. Great hit there by the mangonel or onager, and does go down, however. A couple of Teutonic Knights, they're not going to last very long. So the Briton player is having a more or less a death blob of arbalists. Magenta is producing more and more structures, which he's going to use either onagers or scorpions in order to take on these arbalists. So he has to be sure, sending them by 2x2, there are siege onagers, and they're getting kited down quite successfully. We got a handful of scouts here. They're not going to accomplish all too much. We do got more blue setting up some more archery ranges down here. This will be very problematic, so he's going to need to clear it out before he actually takes on the archery ranges themselves. And here, a couple monks, they're over here trying to convert something. Hopefully they're converting the Cavaliers. And if they actually get in, they can potentially get... No, they got a scout! There's a handful of potential harassers going to come on in. We got 3 siege onagers here. And there's a holy crap damage amount coming out from these arbalists. Able to do 10 damage to the armor of the siege onagers. I think there's 8, so he just needs about half amount in health, if that makes any sense. They can do about 3 damage per hit, I believe. 8 armor, 10 damage. Yeah, they can do 2 damage each, so... Oh, that was a good hit. He has more and more onagers coming forward, but he has to make sure he doesn't stream them in one at a time. He can lose a stable. The stables are not producing anything worthwhile. These scouts are just being sent in and just pretty much stalling. This onager may get a good hit. No, he does not micro it in time. A regular ram was built, but even it got quickly killed. Scouts trying to run on forward, trying to hit the trebuchets. But he needs to get a handful of onagers to push forward. He needs to group them up, because he's sending them one by one and just getting swatted away. They should be doing the swatting. I don't mean that with calling the SWAT team. We do got a shot there. Good damage, gets about 5-ish. It's a battering ram. Battering rams do have 98 armor, so they only receive 1 health. There's so many arbalists here, they can do it quite quickly. Also got a reserve of something in the siege workshop. Probably rams. Maybe mangonels or onagers of his own. Barracks will go down. They're not producing anything worthwhile, so it's an acceptable loss. Now we do have multiple mangonels here, but there's now a handful of halberdiers just being very problematic. That was a deadly hit. And there goes a trebuchet as well. We have a couple of cavaliers here. Smash down his own scouts a little bit more than you would like. This one's very low in health. It may get only 1 volley off. May... No, it does not. Here down south, we do got a large wave of scouts coming on in. Magenta just needs to regroup his forces. Let's take a quick look at the economy tab. Both players are around on a similar villager count, but blue having those 5 relics will pan out for a long time, because it looks like the rate of this game's going, gold may be an issue for both players. His cavaliers are not cutting it out. He needs a large group of cavaliers. There's so many arbalists. This is the big power of Britons and why it's a bit more easy for newer players to get in with, because archers are very reliable and effective. They require a little less skill, I would say, than infantry and cavalry. Well, mangonels could take quite a bit of skill. Cavaliers are trying to rush on forward, and they just, arbalists just need to stand their ground and fight. They're getting moved around, sustaining some extra damage, but there's enough here just to quickly smite them. We have another town center going up there. These mangonels moving forward. Ooh, that was a good hit. And these mangonels, that was force fire in the ground. Good hits. Great hits. That initial group is now completely dead. And here comes death to all those crossbowmen. Magenta has stabilized. Magenta now has siege onagers on the front line pushing towards the villagers. There's a wood camp up here, which he should always place it right here. It's safer. You could also place one here or down here. There's no reason why he should be a bit more dangerous with these, unless he wants villagers to potentially get lost. Which there's a delete button. I hear attacks down here. We do have some scouts. Mangonels are currently sieging the town center. And they will actually get another town center. But town center's usefulness has greatly gone down. Both players have plenty of villagers and the ability to replenish the villagers, so village production is not super important. So the town center snipe is nice, but not important. Ooh, splashes and kills everything there. Probably was worth it.
Ready.
After Rand's moving on forward, we've got a huge wave of trebuchets. Still just crossbowmen. He sees all the mangonels. The longbowmen may be a bit better just for their sheer extra range. And what make them a bit more effective versus the onagers. After Rand, there goes the castle. Blue's making some headway down south. Magenta is starting to reproduce projection structures up north. We got another castle over there. And that will be the only castle. So that's his only source of trebuchets. Knights, Draconic Knights, I don't think it's going to be useful for a foreseeable future. But the town center is in siege. Its only usefulness is actually collecting wood. Oh! Great hits from those mangonels. That one was successfully dodged. That one only minus splash. And yeah, oh, nice. He scares him inside of this. This, of course, increased the arrow count. And castles, when a load of archers, are a great counter to the onager. Villagers moving on forward, trying to stab that batting ram. Somewhat effective. And he will manage to kill off that ram. You do have a ram to counter the ram, a mangonel, a siege onager moving in as well. And that siege onager could have gone down. More siege onagers moving on in. They've been so effective in this game, so why stop? I do see a longbowman on the field, so Blue's starting to transition away from arbalest and into longbowmen. Extra range is very much important. He's a light cavalry are going to have some trouble versus all these halberdiers. But the halberdiers have nothing against this castle. Magenta's sitting in forward. He is setting up a trebuchet now. He does have mangonels or onagers ready to go forward.
Ready.
Halberdiers engaging. It's still just scouts. Can the Tuetons only get scouts and not even light cavalry? That may be the case. I can't really remember off the top of my head. You have more murder holes finally being researched by Blue. It feels like murder holes are less important than multiplayer. It's so critically important in single player. Because the guy just have infinite resources and spam out in waves. Ricochet was successful in counter battery. Remember, he has I'm not sure if you can research or not, but the special technology of Warwolf helps with the counter battery just so its AoE effect allows be a bit more successful in hitting. Good hit there. Oh, is Warwolf Briton or... Right, I thought it was Briton. The trebuchet does, siege onager does go down, and now we have a huge number of elite longbowmen. Elite longbowman has one more damage and one more range, which makes all the difference. Because that 1 extra damage is nice, but it also makes it much more effective versus siege onagers, able to do up to right now 4 damage per hit, as well as able to engage from mobile range, giving the longbowmen so much more room to move around those siege onagers. So now the siege onagers will not be as successful as we've previously seen, and there's so many halberdiers because his opponent has no more gold sources, does he? Both players probably out of gold, so you may see a light cavalry halberdier transition. Magenta may need to go towards skirmishers at this rate. Because halberdiers and now the siege onagers will have no real operating room, so it's going to need a transition to a skirmisher with any sort of chance. Blue has those relics, so Blue has more breathing room when spending the more premium gold units. Those relics are going to make up. Well, that's what's wanted for Blue, I would say. In this late of the game, when you have no gold countering these longbowmen, it may be just game because there's a huge swarm of these guys, and they're just picking up anything that comes close to them. Trebuchet's under fire. You got some scouts engaging like cavalry, but scouts don't handle the light cavalry. There you go, Trebuchet's starting to be cleaned up by the halberdier. These are just regular auditors, no mangonels or siege. These halberdiers are just getting ripped apart. Halberdiers are rushing on forward, but they are being disintegrated. He's actually focused fire that Tuetons because it's a higher threat. And then you get a single shot off. Excellent target prioritizing. And longbowmen can take a hit or two from halberdiers, so it's not imperative they immediately kill off the halberdiers. So great targeting. The only thing I would say is perhaps throwing a monk just to heal up some of these guys as they're firing. Going in. The scouts, they're unupgraded. They're just not going to be very effective. It's the light cavalry upgraded increases their health by a good amount, which is actually quite important against them fighting against archers. We got a potential harassment force of scouts, but we could also lose villagers right now because he needs so much population from these cheap units. The archer goes down. And Blue's archer is not being so successful because not being a siege archer. Not even a single long bowman went down right there. And those halberdiers were attacked for quite some time. So Blue's just going to be draining the economy of Magenta. And there goes a castle, so no more counter trebuchets. Not like he had the gold to support it. Another wave of halberdiers coming in, but they only got one longbowman. Look at the economy tab. Magenta's out of low on food, out of gold. And yeah, this just seems like it's game. While Blue has a substantial stockpile of food, 11,000 food, 3,500 worth of wood, and even has over 1,000 gold that's counting up thanks to the relics. It's purely from the relics. So yeah, the side effect may have been that relic play early on, just giving so much gold. Magenta had great kill to death ratio with siege archers versus the crossbowmen, but he just got out valued and outproduced. These longbowmen still just pecking away. If there was veterans in this game, these guys would just be littered with stars, chevrons, and other marks of James used for proficiency. yeah, Magenta has lost a game, I would say. And no any fault of his own. The only thing, he just played the game so successfully. There was some times where I think Magenta was sort of following his units in at 1 by 1 for a time, but I just still generally believe that the blue one thinks those relics. Magenta was in the offense at times, and even picked up almost the entirety of all the crossbows arbalets at a time. So Magenta put up a really good fight. And now villagers are getting harassed by blue, and he's also building a frontline castle. He's probably going to castle hop forward in order until he starts actually besieging all the farms. Maybe instead of going for the farms, he can go for the wood. Start going to the wood line, which will starve out the farms. Look at that. That force there was a sizable force, ripped apart instantly. And this time, let's go ahead and take a look at the post screen, because I'm actually curious about that, because that was just great gameplay. You can see here, military economy. I always wonder if that also takes account of what they have stockpiled as well, so it's not exactly a good indication. Units killed, this is actually quite important. A 2-to-1 kill death ratio. Not exactly 2-to-1, more like It's bad to do math when you're doing a cast. I would say 60% more of his own count, so yeah, I would say that's good. Over here, actually, Magenta had more food collected than his opponent. Wood production is actually more in favor of blue. Blue also had a huge stockpile of food, so the food collected is not a huge problem because blue had a huge stockpile. Stone collected, gold collected. Is there, I guess it's not any gold from relics. Like there's, I believe Age of Mythology has a gold from relics little tab. But this is actually quite important. Look at the gold difference. This is the biggest issue. And, oh, here we go. Relic gold. Nearly 7,000. 6,700. There's only a small difference in gold. If you remove the 6,000, 7,000 gold from blue right here, he actually only collected about 2,000 more gold, which is a nice amount. But that extra 7,000 gold paid for so many units, which made like the food and wood collection also much more substantial. So yeah, that gold is critical at that point. But yeah, I would say the relics won the game. Agion saying thank you for watching and signing off.